Hi everyone, my name is Alicia Salcido, and this is my Week 6 Multimedia Discussion, Federal or State, Who Should Be in Control of Education? In this PowerPoint, we're going to be reviewing who should be in control. Is it going to be the federal? Is it going to be the state? What are my recommendations? And then our reference page. For the federal control, the people who I did ask if they were for or against, most of them were for, just because they just explained how we are already customized to the federal government being in control, implementing their rules and regulations for the state to follow. They already feel comfortable with what's going on and understand that the state has to take accountability to ensure that they are upholding and are following all of these rules and regulations by the federal government. Also, the federal government listed and passed a law that's called the ESSA, which to ensure that all children have an equal right to education. And they were able to come up with this because there was a previous law that was passed, the No Children Left Behind Act, and that was brought based off of the 14th Amendment that everyone should have equal rights. So they knew that the federal government understood that all children should have an equal right into allowing a equal system for education. Children should not have to deal, if they're in a low income area, to have inadequate access to resources. The federal government wants to step up and be there for those children, especially in the school districts that are in need of resources, to give that additional funding for schools, to make sure that they are competing and to have a equal education as another school district that may have more income just due to the wealth in that area. For the state control, people that I did ask, a lot of them were just explaining that schools would have more flexibility in developing a curriculum that best meets the children's need, especially because not every school has the same resources. So schools would have to use their resources to best fit the children's curriculum within their budget, within their plan, with their capabilities of them doing what they can. Sometimes maybe they can't reach the requirement for the federal guidelines to receive the additional funding, or they just don't agree on those guidelines. That's how they can ensure an equal education for all children, especially because these schools are just focusing on their group of children to make sure that they are ensuring they are having a well-educated educated system for them. Parents were also just stating that even though they are receiving federal money from the state, where the federal takes the taxes from the people, they are just informing me that those are their taxes, that they're already paying taxes. So it's just kind of like they're just indicating that the federal government should not have a decision on how those federal funds should be dispersed, because if that parent is paying taxes, the parent should make that decision on how those taxes should be paid. So, but because of the way how our education has been set up, they feel like they have no voice in deciding that, to make that argument for them. My recommendation is to continue with the federal system, to continue with the federal government in control of the education. We have to go based off of the 14th Amendment that was issued. So there is a right for everyone to have equal rights, and the government has to make sure that they are upholding that amendment and making sure that is being followed. So in order for this to continue, the federal government has to ensure that these plans of curriculum and guidance are given to the federal state for them to review to make sure that the states are meeting these guidelines to receive federal aid to pursue them at the state level. The state has the control in deciding how they want to meet it, and they have to implement their own policies still. So there is that balance there. The state can design and implement their own ideas, and then the federal level has to approve it. So we just have to continue to make sure we're just following within that 14th Amendment. Also, parents also have to do their part. They have to make sure they are voting, they are ensuring that they're choosing who they want to be their representative for the education system. If parents can continue taking that process, then we can probably have a well-integrated system for everyone to be pleased with. And these are just a few references that I have that I got my ideas from. And then thank you very much for listening to the presentation. I hope to hear from everyone soon.